I can tell you right now, this movement that they're doing is very unnatural for forward momentum. I don't know who came up with this idea that we'll just tie the oar to the boat. We've only got one oar. Someone ended up with a washman and an oar and had to figure out how to get across a body of water. And that's what happened. That's how this came about. That's hilarious.
Good morning.
What are we doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you know what the date is today?
7. Oh, 11. 11.
Yeah.
10?
No?
No.
Check your phone. It's in your hand.
11/8.
Oh, very good. Do you know what that means?
That's only the third guess.
Do you know what that means?
And it took me a while to get the month right. Apparently, I think it's July.
Do you know what that means? What day is it?
11/8.
Yeah, what day is it?
It is not a special day.
It is a special day. It's the most special day of the year.
What?
It is the most special day of the year.
What's the day?
It's the 8th.
Of November?
Ino Opai Day.
Oh, it's Good Boob Day.
I'm going to explain why it's Good Boobs Day in Japan. Can you hold the camera?
Yeah.
We're going to try to do this with a pen and paper. So we got a pen and paper here. Maybe we could come down and pan over here like so. Yeah, there we go.
I can't see the screen.
So, oh yeah, that is the screen's on the side. You're good. That's good. Okay, so today is 11/08. Okay, so I think that maybe if I click on that or put my face away from it, you can see. And in Japanese, the way that you write good is two characters that look kind of like 11s. Okay, so this is one character and this is another character, and it is pronounced E, so it's good. And then the O is just an O. So an O, let me get you in there so you're all up to speed. And then the 8, this one is a little bit hairy because the way that you actually read 8 is hachi, but because it comes after the O, you can kind of say pa instead of the ha sound. I think it's a bit of a stretch, right?
Yeah.
So that gives you this pa sound. And then just for good measure, they'll throw on another E at the end because it sounds nice. So you've got good o pai, and o pai in Japanese means boobs.
I think, take this away. Okay. I think that you turn the 8 on the side.
And then you get boobs.
Yeah, you turn it on and then you put the nips. There you go.
That is what I have thought for years was better, but I looked it up this morning.
I don't know what this is. This is wrong. Okay. All right.
Regardless, what do we have to do today now? Some point.
Gotta look for some good boobs. If I'm gonna be in the onsen later.
You are gonna be.
That's gonna be an opportunity. Maybe we'll find some good artwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
there's gotta be some
I don't
good
want to
boobs
boast
today.
about my own, but I'll be around me later. It's almost disappointing when you can't find a bakery in the morning.
Yeah, and because the bakeries, we've talked about this in the past in other videos, the bakeries in Japan are on point, and you can find like pretty good bread and a wide variety of it, and it's just a wonderful way to start the morning. It's the way to have Japanese breakfast as far as I'm concerned.
So this is called a queenie aman.
And we don't know what that is, but it sounds like it is maybe a word from another language that they have just adapted into Japanese.
And as long as it doesn't have anko in the middle, I'll be happy. I don't feel like anko's for breakfast, all right? Those beans are just segregated at all times. Like they at one point they weren't for dessert. Beans aren't for dessert. Now they're not for breakfast.
We looked up this word in our Japanese dictionary because we're like, maybe it'll give us some clues as to what is inside of this thing. And it said round, crusty cake.
All right.
I don't even know.
I'm gonna give it a chance.
You got a croissant crunch going on there. It's just bread, right?
They put some sweetness on the outside. The inside is quite moist and squishy, but it doesn't seem like there's any filling inside there.
It just kind of, that's kind of nice. I like the simplicity of it.
A round crusty cake?
It is. It is a round crusty cake. I don't know if I would call it cake, though. It's flaky, kind of like a croissant is. And we got a couple of other things. But the only other thing that I think is super of note is that this is edamame and bacon.
And cheese, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like there's some cheese on top of it, and I'm sold. I really like this doughy, soft stuff.
I'm just going in for that doughy, soft stuff.
Yeah, I mean...
You chose this, and I was like, that's the most boring one here.
Oh, the cheese is good, though. It gives it a little bit of a sparkle.
It is a darker cheese than expected.
It's light on the bacon, though. There's like a couple of little tiny bits inside, and that's it.
Well, I mean, you got that other slab of bacon, so you're going to be fine.
I do have a slab of bacon. Okay, so this morning we came and we did this Taiko experience, and it was amazing. At first it was just Katie and I and the instructor, and we had, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes because the other group was running late. In the end, I guess there were 6 more people that came, which was really cool actually, because it gave us an opportunity to just kind of get into the groove with just the instructor for a few minutes. And then when everybody else comes, you play together on this string of taiko that's over here, and you get the opportunity to hear the sound of many of them together. This is a taiko, and it's an extreme example of one, because this was made out of a 600-year-old tree, and it's really big. They're not usually this big. And the tree was made of a tree that fell in this region, and the skin is made out of cow skin. And this is actually so big that you can see the spine of where the cow was on each side of this. And they give you these sticks that are like these things, and you hit it. And of course I have a lot of video that I can overlay to show that. And you can also hit a taiko on the side to make like a clicking sound. So it's a mixture of that, and depending on where you're hitting it on this actual drum head, depends on what type of deepness you get. And it's very variable, especially on one that's this big. So during the original lesson that we were taking, she would do like a call and response thing back and forth, where she would play on there and then we would play back, and she had all these different, like, not games, but ways of showing you how to use the taiko without actually just explaining it, just showing you. And it was really well done, and it was a lot of fun. Kids came in, kids could step right into it and enjoy it too. We stepped right into it and really enjoyed it. And then she lets you just have like free reign on these big ones. The other one that's really of note is this one down here at the very other end. And it is super, super deep sounding when you hit it. She's got this giant like drumstick that looks like a Q-tip kind of. And you hit that thing in the middle with the big one, and it just thunders inside of this room, which is like acoustically designed to make this experience intense. The whole thing is really awesome. I find hitting drums and stuff. I play drums, and this is a lot of fun. And I'm wondering, like, are there any neighbors? Because if there are neighbors, they do not like this. It is hell loud inside this room, and I'm sure it's escaping through these windows and stuff. But yeah, if you have the opportunity to come, it was a little expensive. It was like $20 per person for the 1 hour experience or whatever, but I think that considering what we got out of it and everything, absolutely worth it.
That was cool. I can't keep a straight face.
You're just trying to drop it. That was cool.
Yeah. You were like, you want to talk about it? Like, I feel like you covered it pretty well. That was not only really like interactive and fun, but also like impressive. Not just from the instrument standpoint, but also from our instructor. The demonstration that she gave us was just thunderous. I felt like I was in a movie, but I wasn't in a movie, and she was the movie. It was really great. She's out there waving. She's just cool.
So we're trying the GPS unit on this car sucks. Usually you can just type in a phone number.
The telephone number. I'm 1 digit away from the telephone number going in, okay?
And yeah, is it gonna work?
So
it never.
last digit is
hold on. Usually you do this. You type in the phone number replace, and it knows where it is, and everything works.
And it'll show you like this is where you're going. You confirm that's where you're going.
And sometimes it'll fail, and then you can fall back to the address, and you can use that. We have never gotten the GPS unit on this car to actually know where anything is. And I think it's just because it's so old.
And I think the thing that we're going to do has been happening for so long that this would be registered.
Okay, hold on.
I'm under that impression.
Let me spin this around and let's do this as a team. What's going to happen? Is it going to work?
All right.
Go ahead.
I'm pushing the last digit.
Okay.
Oh, it's not looking good.
Wow.
Ooh.
It actually found it.
Did it get what we want?
Did it get the right one? It's probably the top one.
It's the last one.
Oh, is it the last one?
Well, that says that's what we want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this didn't work out at all. This video is just bumpkus.
Well, but that's the first one out of like 4 or 5 that we've put in there.
But wait.
It doesn't know where our hotel is.
It doesn't know the hotel. The hotel's pretty new. It's just that they haven't updated it or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the place we came today, it wasn't in there either. I don't understand why. It seems like it's been here a while. So I have something to save us though. If I come over here and I show you the window motion here, can you see the window going down? It goes down.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, it goes down at a reasonable speed, but here we come back up. Sometimes it doesn't go all the way up.
Woo!
We made it.
Yeah, we did.
Ross Bucket's doing okay today.
Yeah, he's fine.
He must be a better altitude or something.
We're about to tarai-bune. Tarai means wash bin, like kind of what you would think you put water into it and then people would wash their clothes inside of it. It kind of reminds me of one of the scenes from The Little Mermaid, that kind of wash bin, which is sitting out there. And fune means boat. You see that it's floating on the water as opposed to having water inside of it. We're about to get inside of one of those and go float around in the water. This is something they do here. We talked earlier about the little coupons that the government is giving you to go to other places. And we have our Niigata coupons. And here at the Noriba, the like loading dock, or I don't know what that's called, like the getting onto something area, you can use these coupons. So we're going to ride in this little wash bin boat.
On the government bucks.
On the government's dime. Let's do this. We on a boat?
Yo, this feels like bumper boats.
下から逆手に持ちます。はい、そちらにね。ここへつけないように手を伸ばします。はい。まっすぐ立てたらそのまま右です。横。サイド、サイド、サイド、サイド。下に遠く見ていて。
And then go there.
サイド、サイド、サイド、サイド。私話すよ。少し重くなるよ。遠く見てて。はい、どうぞ。サイド、サイド。重たいよ。遠く見てて。
We are not going in the right direction.
間違えましたね。
ちょっと難しいですね。
私たちもだいたい1ヶ月間はね、練習するんですけどもね。
練習します。はい。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
足元気をつけて、足しっかりだよ。
Nice gloves.
Thanks. I'll take them with.
So that was a pretty intense experience, oddly enough.
Because it's really short. You're in there for like 7 minutes. They take you around. You're going in a circle. And all the pictures that I'd seen of this activity showed obviously someone who was a tourist doing the boat. But we got like 3/4 through it and she hadn't offered the oar to either of us. Bogarting that oar. And I just was like, can I try?
And then
I just thought it doesn't hurt to ask if we're not allowed to do that anymore. Like maybe they had some like really crazy accident where one of the tourists did it and everybody died as a result. I don't know.
She was just telling us about like the history of the boats and like what they're made out of and things like that. and
Not letting me touch that oar.
yeah, she was into that. She was into that explanation. That's what she was doing.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. If you asked me to tell you how old she was, I couldn't guess within 30 years. I have no idea if she was young or old or anything. Did you get, just because of the clothing she was wearing and everything?
There was a person in there?
Yeah, I know. It was like
She touched me.
It was all like she's all geared up in this old school looking stuff.
Yeah.
And at one point she looks at the sky and she's like, "It looks like it's gonna rain." And then
And
like
it
10
poured.
seconds later, it poured down rain on us.
She was trying to take a picture of us, like during
out
that
in the
time. We were
rain.
like,
I was
let's
like,
just
"No,
get out of
let's
this
just
boat. I don't need to be in this boat anymore.
It was kind of cool though. It's more stable than I thought it was going to be. I thought it
Yeah.
was really going to wobble around. When you asked if you could stand up and work on it, I was like, we're doomed. We're doomed.
Yeah,
There's some Gilligan's Island shit going on right now. It's all over.
Yeah.
The storms are coming in. Katie's driving. I don't know what's going on. I thought it was over, but yeah, it was fine. I don't understand how, like you said, it has an oar on the front of it. I don't understand how they're propelling
it's
it
how
forward.
it swivels. That I could feel that it was making some sort of like
Whatever you were doing
tension.
made us go in the opposite direction.
Yes,
We were moving
yeah.
forward, but the wrong way.
I was looking at the oar, and when we started, I was faced towards the dock. But when I came back up from learning how to do it, we were not facing
Headed
the
to the
dock
open
anymore.
sea.
Heading towards the open sea. Me, you, and her together forever.
She said that it takes a month to learn how to do it properly.
Yeah.
So you have to practice for a month before you can become a professional boater person. And I think they're all women running it. I didn't see any dudes like rowing the boat or whatever. So it's like a woman thing. It's kind
all
of
in
unique.
the hips.
It is. You're gonna go in this little shop here and try to find some good opai.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck. You feeling brave?
Yeah, I'm gonna touch its flibblers, okay? Oh. That's like a stone. That's not a flibbler. That's a shell.
Can you eat that?
You can't eat that. That is not edible. Alright. We've entered edible.
What is this
It
called?
looks-
Sazai?
Sazai.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it goes way deep down in there. Oh my. You supposed to eat it in one bite, or?
Oh, it's green. Oh man, that's gnarly.
I spent some time watching the locals enjoy this delicacy that they fish using those boats out of the water. It's just one bite. He made it look like it was normal, so I'm gonna do that now.
I'm gonna bet it's cheesy. Is it cheesy? Chewy cheesy?
She only ate like half of hers and gave him the other half. I regret this.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a
And I
bummer.
like to find all the things like the good about it. There was a very dark flavor to it, and there was definitely sand in there, and I think, have you ever eaten a whole organism? Because that's what I just did.
Your eyes are watering.
There's a bad taste in there.
What kind of textures we got? Come on, you got.
There was cheesy and meaty and chewy. All in, like on one side of my mouth was cheesy, on the other side of my mouth was meaty. And very salty. Like,
Is that shoyu that's inside of that?
no,
little
it's
shell?
just deep sea funk. This is like the worst 350 yen I've spent in my life now. It's kind of that bad. I don't want to like. Maybe other people like this flavor and this taste more than I do, but it's like gray. The color of gray for food. That's what it tastes. That tastes gray. Just found some of these tubs on the side of the road. They're big. I don't know what else more to say about it other than these will catch your eye as you're going down the road and have you turn around so you can come and touch the boats.
I thought they would be deeper.
I kind of did too. Maybe she was just really short and it made it look really deep.
Yeah, I don't know. And I also feel like it would be deeper for the diameter so that it wouldn't tip. I'm actually surprised at how little they are in that way. It's kind of cool to just see like a warehouse of them sitting here on the side of the road.
Next to one that isn't wobbling in the water, and you feel like you're just looking like a tourist, annoying people. I mean, I am a tourist that's annoying people probably all the time, but it's nice to have your moment with something so you can fully understand it and touch it. We are in Chukanegi, and we just got chased down by the man who told us all the information we need to know about this little town.
He's like, it's gonna take you 20 minutes.
Yeah, it'll take you 20 minutes to tour this town. He told us some of the little places to go, but this town is kind of a shipbuilder's town, and it has an interesting feel with very small, narrow walkways that aren't necessarily built on level ground. We're just gonna walk through and find out what's cool about this little place. Oh man, you can smell the wood that... I'm gonna smell this house.
Yeah, you've been a house sniffer.
Man, it smells really good. You're sniffing the house now. Yeah, it's not just me. And it's in the air. The wood that the buildings are made of, you can just smell it. And it's not overwhelming, it's just there. And that surprises me because I would think, these were built a while ago and maybe they had lost their aroma. We've been talking about the word aroma a lot. But the reason we started this video was not to smell houses. It's because the manhole covers in Japan are really, really cool. Like, you go to a specific place and if they have some sort of trend there, their manhole covers might actually have that on there. And here, just like the little boats that we were in, they have sported the boats on their manhole covers. Kind of felt like this place really isn't inhabited. Over here you've got like a post office from the 1920s that obviously isn't in use anymore. And then behind me over here, someone is actually living here and they have a post box because that's not working anymore. You need the box. It's kind of cool to see that somebody is living in here, but at the same time it feels very much like a ghost town.
What time is it?
It's time to go to class.
Or is it lunchtime?
This is
It's noon. It's noon right on the nipple.
Oh, right on the nipple?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, bye. We're heading down a path randomly, and we found this little explanation that says this used to be a well. And we thought, oh, this is kind of fun, got this thing, and Eric was like, open it. And I was like, that's definitely not gonna open. Oh my god, it opened. Oh my goodness. That's pretty cool. So I think it'll go down in there. If this gets me water, I'm gonna feel amazing. Ooh, this is wet. Why is this wet? That's the wrong side of wetness.
Any luck?
I put it all the way in there. Let me untwist. I didn't hear a splash or anything. Eric! This bucket's not very good. That's the first time I've ever welled. Bucket has a hole.
Did this drain out?
It's all gone. I'm getting good at it. Bucket's still broken though.
Have you seen the sign above the bucket? Above the, up here?
Yeah, what's that all about?
We'll read it.
I can't read it. Well,
You can read half that for sure.
there's a Gaia,
Yeah, and,
Kuma.
yeah.
What's the bottom one?
Tanuki.
Wow.
These are some of those hella old stairs that are pushed in from time, from how many people have walked up and down them. It feels really ancient. It's like ancient Rome style stuff that you'd see. But we ain't nowhere near Rome. I feel like I'm just going up through somebody's yard too. Like, that's just somebody's backyard, y'all. Where did Katie go? As is customary in such little areas, you can see up behind me and stuff, there's these little shrines and things. It looks like it's a tombstone, but off to the sides there's also little shrines and just like little religious things that they put in the woods. It's really nice, really cool. You have these little surprises that you get to find.
I'm just gonna read you what the plaque says, okay? At Chukanegi, the town that we're at, the thin wooden shingles on the roofs are replaced every 2 or 3 years. This was largely undertaken by the women of each household. The men put their all into building and working on the boats. In addition to housekeeping, women had to perform what was traditionally a man's job by climbing onto the roofs. Women introduced the idea of roofing with tiles instead of shingles in the 1950s and 60s. Times have changed. It literally just says times have changed. It ends with a comma. So maybe it's like, you know, more to come.
We were up above the town and we had a pretty cool view of the little patch of town that still exists here. And something that I noticed is that some of the roofs have traditional modern-ish, but now at this point kind of old, clay or whatever they're made out of tiles that go on the top of Japanese roofing. And some of them had old patched looking roofing that was probably the older type that the woman was replacing every 2 years or so. And they put rocks on top of each area of that roof, I'm assuming to keep it in place. And it's pretty windy up there, so I'm kind of surprised that that was ever a solution. But I mean, you know, technology, I don't know what technology was like before they had these things.
It's women in the 1950s and 1960s. Times are changing, old man.
Times are changing. No more rocks on top of the roof. We're gonna go ahead and put shingles. I guess, is shingles the right word for that thing? What is it called? The clay shingle.
Tile.
Tile.
That's a tile.
Thank you. Ah! That's dangerous.
Walk it off. Walk it off.
This is the iconic building of the town. It used to be a shipbuilder's building, and what's iconic about it at this point is it's actually kind of shaped like a ship because it's built on this corner. And you can probably see this is like the bow of the ship, and it's just a unique shape, and people come here and take pictures with it because it's like the iconic thing. It's like one of the Sado Island kind of iconic items as far as I can tell. I don't know why, but this says salt on the sign. I don't know why, because apparently it's a shipbuilder's house. Maybe his last name was Shio. I doubt that. Maybe it was a salt storehouse at some point, but yeah. It's a little triangle house. It kind of reminds me of something we saw in Venice, oddly enough. And that kind of makes sense, shipbuilders, Venice. This is kind of, I can see this stuff tying together a bit.
I'm just gonna let you digest this picture while I stare into your soul.
So just as we had trouble finding food yesterday, we are down where there is technically civilization, like we're in a little town, there's cars going by, but we are having trouble finding a restaurant that is opened. The sign on this restaurant here says because of the coronas, they are closed right now. So everything is closing within the hour at this point. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and everything closes by 2. And there was like 3 places to choose from. This is the second one we've seen and it's been closed. There's one more that we're gonna try and we're gonna hopefully have it be open, and it's just right up the street, but I do not have my expectations very high at the moment. Good news, looks like the little Chinese restaurant down the street is open, so we probably are not going to starve to death.
Just as we have found that this is the only place that's open, everybody in the town has found that that's what's happening.
She just
All
had-
the seats in here are full.
She just had to tell somebody that there were no seats available for them to sit down.
They had to turn on lights in another room and seat them in another room that was not functional a moment ago. So I'm pretty sure we'll be here for quite some time because they got the chef and the wife of the chef, and that is all that's making food back there for the 18 people that are in this
I'm
city.
just excited we're gonna eat.
Yeah,
I was not looking forward to splitting our last rice cracker.
Yeah, so this bodes weller than yesterday. This place doesn't skimp on the pickles or the variety of the pickles. I just wanted to know that.
We've got a huge platter of food here. I've got some ton men. I don't remember what you got. You got a niku yasai teishoku, is that right?
Yeah, so meat and vegetables
Yeah. And
set
then,
meal.
I've got a big plate of gyoza and stuff. And honestly, we're in a really narrow spot. It's going to be a bit hard to film this. like do the full experience eating thing without annoying the people that are around us.
Might already be doing that.
Yeah, we might already be doing this, so we may have to save the review for after the meal. Sorry for not bringing y'all along on the adventure of eating, but one, they're getting ready to close, and I was a little worried that we would be like busted up on their closing time, but I think we got a couple minutes. But
Yeah, and a huge group of people came in like 10 minutes ago, so they're certainly going to be getting more food.
Yeah.
I think we're okay.
But there were people sitting like right here, and then like off to my side right here, and it was just all really. I didn't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it feels awkward. I don't feel awkward about it. Like if people see us making videos, we're way past that. But I just don't want to annoy somebody. Katie said that this is standard Japanese food, or standard Chinese food in Japan. I think that's like the best definition of it ever.
Yeah.
It is.
If I lived in this town, I would certainly come back to this place frequently.
Yeah. And it's super clean and it was super well made, but it's not really like they're not like spinning it in a special way to make it different for this place. It's just like the standard jam.
You want Chinese food? We have Chinese food. We don't have like Michelin star Chinese food, or nor do we have like got it from this particular region or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just this is Chinese food. You're gonna enjoy it. Flavors be good.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And I'm just very happy we ate something. To be completely real, it didn't end up at a 7-Eleven, but to be real, I don't even know if we would have found one.
Yeah. I haven't seen in convenience stores, and we saw that supermarket. And I saw one other supermarket.
Well, in the middle of the island, on the plain, it's like a normal Japanese city. So there's like Lawson's and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, we were just at a Lawson this morning.
But yeah, once you get outside of that middle plain area and get down to the area that we're at, or the area we were at yesterday, like there's not like chain stuff going on anymore. It's just like, mom and pop shops or whatever, which is cool, but if they're not open, it doesn't help us a lot.
Yeah. Now I'm ready to move.
I'm ready to take a nap after all the food I just ate.
Well, you did eat a lot of food.
Wow. Oshibori. Wait, no, that's the wrong word.
Yeah, you're gonna eat the wet
oshibori.
wipe?
No. What's this called?
You are ready for a nap. Wow.
Yeah, what's it called?
Umeboshi.
Umeboshi. Duh.
I already know how the story ends, so I'm gonna redo it for the audience. I'm just gonna tell you this GPS is really disappointing. All I can tell you is like we got pretty far in. I typed in information for the bird sanctuary that we want to go to. Guess what birds soon? And we get to the last stinking step of the GPS situation, and it just goes, I can't route it. It's not that it doesn't know the place. It's not that it doesn't know where the place is located. It's not that it doesn't know where we are. It just can't do that last step.
I pushed the wrong button, so I screwed it up. But anyway, yeah, it's really frustrating.
Oh my god, I cannot believe that. So toki no mori ko. This is where we want to go. It knows where it is. It's like, you want to route that? Yeah, I want to route it. No. I want to go there, man. And it doesn't tell you what the problem is. It's not like there's no road there, or, you know, I just don't have internet right now, or I'm not talking to space, or whatever the fuck this thing's doing.
Dekimasen.
It's just dekimasen. Just can't do it.
All right, let's get our phone.
We're a little bit early for the fall colors here in Sado, but that doesn't really matter because there's still a little bit poking out here and there, and all along we just went through this like windy mountain road that was not intended to go down, but we fell onto it and it was very nice and windy and good colors on the side of the road. I had a great time, as you can tell.
What's your favorite fall color?
Yellow.
Why?
We just talked about it.
I know, but it's a good conversation.
It is a good conversation. You should ask people, why is it your favorite color? Because you're going to get a story, I think. I like yellow because I can feel the warmth of yellow. Other colors, I maybe don't feel that, but yellow feels so warm and exciting and, I don't know, happy.
You know what my favorite color is at the particular moment we're in?
No.
Washed out baby blue.
Not Rust? Rust Bucket has dropped us off so that we can show you that this really is a valley between two mountain ranges. Over here, you've got this mountain range. Do you think that's
That's Osado.
Osado? And then over here is Kosado. And it's really cool, like you can keep looking out and seeing each mountain on each side. It's a very unique geological formation. Without the help of Rust Bucket and the GPS to get us here to the birds, we have arrived. Thank goodness for technology. And you buy the birds with the vending machine. 2 people, please. One bird. 2 birds. And don't forget your change.
How many times do you think you've forgotten your change?
Not many, because usually someone chases after me.
This conservatory is for a special type of bird called toki in Japanese, and it is a Japanese crested ibis,
Yeah.
I think is what it turns into in English.
The species name, or not species name, but it's Nipponia Nippon.
Oh, like
So
the
this
scientific.
is like the most Japanese thing you've ever been in the presence of.
And back in the day, before the Meiji period, they were wild all over a majority of Japan and Korea and China. And they would just be flying around in the air and stuff. And because of overhunting and, you know, humans doing human stuff, they have gotten down to the point where they were nearly extinct. And this conservatory is one of a few that have helped it come back into the point where they're able to release some into the wild.
It has taken multiple nations being friendly with each other,
China and
shipping birds back and forth to try and get the population up to. Right now they have a current population of over 600, some in captivity, some out in the wild.
In Sado. And there's over 400 of them that are wild right now. So it's possible you could just see one flying around.
Now I'm going to be looking for it. This is like the Where's Waldo of Sado.
It's kind of cute too because we've been seeing goods and stuff all over the island. They have milk with the bird on it and stuff, and we haven't known who this bird is. Who's this bird? Who's this bird?
Oh, there he is.
And now, yeah, here's this bird. Look at him. He's right there.
I'd like you to purchase a ticket.
So we've been seeing it all over. It's kind of like the mascot of the island. And now we came and we went into one of their like little conservatory areas, and there was one right in front of us drinking some water. Like it's right there. Like right. I mean, it's on the other side of glass. I couldn't snatch that bird, but there's like one literally right there, and it's pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like the mascot jumped out into real life. Usually I know what the animal is, and then you meet the mascot.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, then they also put a box of wine on its head or whatever.
Yeah.
But in this case, I met the mascot, and then all of a sudden, bam, there's the bird.
The inspiration.
On our way to our next bird area to check out some more of these birds.
There's breeding area.
Katie has brought some kitkats out, and these are sparkling wine flavored kitkats.
With strawberry.
With
'cause
strawberry.
I've always put the strawberry in my sparkling wine.
And they've got little character, like not characters, but like, I don't know, how do you explain this? An icon on it, and mine, the Katie handed me just randomly says dancer. So I'm the dancing sparkling wine Kit Kat person.
And the one that I seriously pulled out of there was the woman driving the car, which is what I've been doing. And it literally says Karuma o unten o shiteiru hito. The person driving the car.
What I think is funny about that is like, this is sparkling wine. Are you supposed to be driving the car with the sparkling wine?
It does say that it is a 0.1% alcohol.
0.01, right?
No, 0.1.
Oh yeah, 0. Okay, 0.1. Sorry.
0.1, yeah.
So it's just a teeny tiny little Kit Kat, and it's like, was this in an omiyage section or something, or was it just in the normal Kit Kat?
It was just at the Lawson.
Oh, okay.
In the
All right,
Kit
what's
Kat
this to?
area.
This is to the Japanese, the Nippon Nipponis or whatever it was.
Nipponia, Nippon.
Nipponia Nippon.
The crested ibis. It's the right colors for it.
It is. And the pink and white.
I don't know if I think this is like...
No. Take it a second.
I got
there it
them
goes.
bubbles.
It hits you. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a sparkle to it. It tastes like wine. The first bite is strawberry. And then it melts in it a little bit. And then you start to feel that buzz.
I kind of feel like strawberry ruins a lot of things.
Yo, these things come in hot pink as well.
Yeah, you
It's
can
like-
order yours in hot pink.
It is really vibrantly pink too. Like, it's like vulgarly pink.
This is Kin, and Kin was the last living crested ibis, the last toki living on Sado. This little guy, bringing back a species. You ever brought back a species? He's got one up on you. In a museum. Come up with this new phrase called gaijin life, and I've used it in front of some Japanese people when we're having troubles that are only people living in Japan who are not Japanese are having these problems. This is not a problem by any means, but in leaving this place, I have ended up with not one, not two, but 3 origami ibises. I don't know if I need this many of this. What do I do with this now?
You think this is a gaijin life thing?
I think it's a gaijin life thing. I think they give them to children and foreigners.
How do you know it's not children life? Maybe a kodomo life.
We could go up to all the Japanese adults and ask them, "Where's your origami?"
You're right. They weren't giving it.
They're not giving it to them. They're giving it to us.
Yeah, it's not a problem. It's just like it's a part of life living here.
Yep.
Like, here is your little origamis. But I would like to point out how dope these little guys are. Like, she took some scissors and like trimmed on the back of the hairs so that it would have these dope hairs in the back. It's really cool. Like, they did a good job.
And then me and her did this for a while. That was fun.
We came driving out into this rice paddy because we thought we'd be able to see some artwork of the birds, but I think we're here in the wrong season for it, but that's okay because we started looking at some signs that were there and we were like, okay, so the birds like these fields and sometimes they're in this area, but I mean, you know, there's only what it was, like 400 of them that are loose or whatever, 600, there aren't that many. It's like, what are the odds we're gonna see them? And I started looking off in the distance and I could see this group of white things flying, but I can't, it's really far away. It's really hard to see exactly what they are. Obviously,
in short, we're chasing birds now.
Obviously, it's birds, and obviously they're big because I can see them from a long way away. But I don't know if we've spotted the rare toki Nihon Nipponis or whatever the hell you said it was called. What is it? Yeah. So I think we're gonna see them. I don't know. We'll see. Well, we definitely saw one, like for 100% certain. We came over here, we drove through this little village over here, and when you're in the village, you're inside all these trees, you can't see the sky. So you're like, where are they? And you only have this very narrow path. We came out, and then there were a few birds flying around over here, and there are hawks that are cool as well, but they have a different thing. The hawks are like kind of just floating above the rice paddies, and you know they're hunting. You know they're looking for like a mouse or whatever it is that they'd be finding down there. And the toki, the ibises, are more on the move, and they were congregating somewhere over these trees. And that's what I had seen from afar. And when we came over here, we saw one of them just fly out across here, and you could clearly see the shape of the bird and the white and even the pink and stuff on it as it flew in that direction. And I did not get a video of it because wildlife videography and photography is difficult because them things moving. But I really tried. But yeah, we saw a wild one, and that makes me really happy. That means today we're winning at life. Just saw a couple of more. Katie got to see them this time as well. She's been missing them because she's been driving and her eyes suck. So managed to make some like shaky ass like Bigfoot Loch Ness monster footage, because the only lens that I have that has got a zoom that's like strong enough to get a bird like that is this tiny little camera that has a 30x optical zoom, which is really cool, but it doesn't focus on them, so it's like all blurry and stuff. But yeah, I mean, there are more of those birds. We saw quite a few of them, I would say. I've probably seen 6. And then, but I mean, I saw a pack of them from a distance. There was probably 20 of them in that pack.
What?
Yeah, it was a lot. And you couldn't see them at all. You just
I was looking out into the sky and it was gray.
Yeah, but I brought them over to that area and there they were. So yeah, I'm happy with the way that all panned out. Got to see the rare bird.
The rare bird. Ew.
What's wrong?
No more burping in the car.
Tauntaun men for lunch, and then you...
and the gyoza.
The gyoza, yeah, gyoza is the problem.
All that's coming out of you is nira right now. It's just nira. And I don't know if you guys know what nira is, but it's like garlic and onion mixed together in one plant.
They make this special pill you're supposed to eat after you eat gyoza. That like goes into your stomach and kills the bad smell, but I didn't have this special pill. But Katie has saved the day. We're driving down this rice paddy once again that's on our way out of this area. And she was like... Tell
them how good my peepers are!
She was like, are those birds? And we were like, are those bags? Are they what? What is it? So we drove a little bit further in, like bam, they're birds. So actually got some like non-Bigfoot Loch Ness Monster footage of some of these wild Japanese crested ibises. I think I did that right? That's what they're called?
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, more bird stuffs. This is a video from the future, and I was going through and Katie took a picture of the birds we saw in the field with her phone, and I was just flipping through it and I was looking at it and was like, that doesn't look like those birds that we saw at the sanctuary. So I think Katie's peepers are pretty good for spotting birds that aren't the birds that we were looking for. You saw birds.
Why are we blaming this on me? I'm not the one who sat next to it and was like, that's definitely a bird.
I was all like excited, trying to get a shot of them, making video, and like, oh, look at this is great, but no moment did I take and like stop and look at it and be like, wait a second here, that bird ain't pink at all, and his nose is completely different, and it looks too big. I think what we found was just
a couple of fatties.
Just a couple of fatties. Just a couple of cranes. I mean, cranes are cool, but it's possible. It's not
what we were going for.
It's possible we didn't see any of these special birds.
We got about 12 more hours of daylight in the future. Maybe we'll find another opportunity, or not. They're out there.
Maybe.
Just randomly, we saw a temple on the map that's 15 minutes away, so we just started driving. The sun went down, it got dark. We thought to ourselves, well, we'll go there and we'll get to see if the camera does any good in the dark. Right now, is the camera doing good?
Seems like it's doing pretty good considering it's completely dark, yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty dark. I don't know if you can see behind me, but we were not expecting anything about bunnies, nor a probably 3-meter tall bunny with red eyes. That was a big shock. The brakes happened in the car, jaw was on the floor. I was just like, what? And then over here, we're ignoring the secondary bunny with her red eyes. And then over here, this little plaque down here is saying that this is the exterminator of the coronavirus, this little dog. I have encouraged him to get to work.
Have you seen what's in his mouth?
Yes, it's the coronavirus is in his mouth. He has not eaten the whole thing yet.
It looks like a senbei.
Yeah, get it, son.
We have come to a little Kaiten sushi restaurant, and it is cool. Oh, that's a good sign.
A
Yeah, a
blowtorch
blowtorch just happened over here. It is a cool place because they are using fish that they have brought in to Sado this morning. And
Brought into Sado, or you think they caught it around this area?
Caught in and around. My understanding, it says it's produced in Sado.
Produced in Sado, and it's the catch from this morning.
Yeah, it's like this morning's catch, but it's still cheap sushi. Like it's 150 yen to 400 yen-ish for a plate, depending on what you're looking at.
I wrote down in the book reasonable kaiten sushi, which I feel like you don't find that in like tourist places.
Especially places that aren't like obvious chains. I don't recognize the name of this place, and it is not something that's like down the street from where we live in Tokyo. But we're excited because we're eating fish that's like right out of the ocean here.
Yep.
You have
Booty,
which
is the same kind of fish that I had last night, just not cooked. Those were the best fish sticks I'd had in my life, by the way. I said that at the end of the meal.
And I have matai, which is both of these. We picked them because they were on their menu back here of fish that were
Sado fish.
Sado fishes, yeah. So we said that was Japanese amberjack or something, right? And I don't know what matai is in English, but it is a sort of similar to maguro a little bit, in the sense that it's kind of a neutral, unoffensive fish. Yeah. So I'm gonna dip up in my juices here. Does it taste fresh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You will be okay with booty. It is also unoffensive.
This one just sort of melts, like in a really positive way.
Are we trading?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm gonna try one. And I'm an American animal, so I put soy sauce in my soy sauce. I put wasabi directly in because that's how I roll. And their wasabi is really strong, like in a way that I'm digging on.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it had some kick. All right, for the booty. It's a lot about the texture, and it's just very easy to eat without being, it's not slimy or anything, it's just like the perfect texture. It's like soft.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
I feel stupid about like eating the fish without the rice, but I kind of like to taste the fish. Once I put the whole thing in my mouth, I feel like it's, oh, you better chew it and it's over. You know how I feel about hamburgers? Hamburgers are like, once you touch it, you don't put it down till it's gone.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about hamburgers.
Well, the thing is you gotta have a big mouth, because then you can eat the whole thing and it's still like proper. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like I'm gobbling down a hamburger when I eat a piece of sushi. Yeah, really cool experience. Really glad we found this little place. Seemed kind of popular, but it wasn't a long wait. It's like we nailed this like as it needed to be happening. And I think it was interesting too because it was actually mentioned in our travel magazine, and they wouldn't normally mention like a kaiten sushi place in a travel magazine.
Do you know that?
Yeah, I kind of do. Like it's not like they wouldn't be like, oh, you know, you can go over here and go to Kappa Sushi. You know what I mean? This place is mentioned for a reason. I think it seems like it's kind of popular with the people that live in the area.
And they mentioned the hotel restaurant last night, so
yeah, magazine knows what's up.
You gotta trust the magazine.
Yeah, so we have a whole bunch more sushi to get, and that's exciting for me.
Sanma onegaishimasu.
Here we go.
Why are you even in this video? You gonna try one?
I'm not gonna eat that.
Okay.
Katie's just sitting here watching things go by, and she's like, that's the weirdest thing I've seen go by, basically. I'm gonna order that. And then she's like, we looked at the name, and the name is Bakudan, which means bomb. So this seems like a thing that they kind of like made here, I'm assuming. And
If I see a Bakudan in the future, I'll gauge it off of this experience, but here we go. I'm pretty sure there's natto in there. There's some white stuff that I can't tell what it is. There's maguro, there's some yellow stuff, can't tell what that is. I see salmon.
There's no way I'm eating that. That was a big bite of bomb. This place is cool, by the way. I recommend it if you're ever in town.
There's crunchy things, and there's squishy things,
Is it just a mess?
and there's natto, and something's making it creamy, and I don't really know what's making it creamy. I would say that overall, it's just an explosion, and I don't say that because it's just an explosion of stuff, and nothing really stands out. The thing that stands out the most is the natto.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty strong flavor.
So I think I'm gonna slowly just have little bits of it and kind of understand what I'm eating.
I saw
That's what's making it
I saw
creamy.
some natto strings.
Whatever this white shit
Is
is.
it Ika?
I don't know. No, it's probably taco. Definitely making it creamy, and then you got.
Do you think you're gonna be able to diffuse this?
I want no. It already went off, man. I want to know what the yellow parts are. I think there's like a pickled thing. I think this is crunchy.
Okay. Oh yeah, I hear a crunch.
No idea what that is. Could just be a pickled thing.
Could be a part of an animal that you never met.
It's stuck in my teeth. That was exciting, but I wouldn't say fulfilling.
We hope you're enjoying our videos from Sado. There should be one more, so if you don't want to miss it, make sure you're subscribed and have the notification bell ring. If you want to help us make more videos like this, the best way to do that and get perks from us is through Patreon. All that's linked down below. And as a special note, we have actually started using Twitch recently, and we've been streaming a lot of adventures of Lolo. So if that's something you're into, you should come check it out, and maybe just come check it out if you're just into video games or hanging out with us anyways. It's kind of fun.
Actually, hold on. I'm gonna watch these people eat it. We also have a PayPal and Amazon wish list linked below, which is a direct way to help us fund new gear for our video project. Liking, commenting on, and sharing this video helps us out too.